second. Waiting for live session to begin. May I start, Suman?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Go.
Okay, all right. Good evening, dear students. Very welcome to the second live session of the course titled Principles of Human Resource Management on YouTube. Waiting for live. And welcome. It's very nice to have you all here. Now, I will start with the questions that we have received here in the through the Google form. I don't see any participants connected here. So I don't see any other participants that are logged in to Google Chat. Yes, I request the NPTEL office to please check and make sure that the chat is enabled. Yes.
Already 5 viewers.
But it's not showing up here, so I don't know.
Please refresh your YouTube link.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Thanks for that suggestion. Yes, I do see some viewers. Thank you, dear NPTEL team. I see Mr. Raman Bhatt, Nazi Aman. Good evening, Mr. Bhatt. Good evening, Mr. Raman. Very warm welcome to you. And I will start with the questions that we have received through the Google form that was circulated earlier. So I hope you're enjoying the sessions. The course is about to come to an end, and we are, and I hope you're all prepared for your exams. Just a second. Yeah. Okay. So I have some questions here. The first one is from Kalpana. Kalpana says, no questions, ma'am. Okay, thank you. Jitin Thomas, what is the scope of human resource management? Jitin, this has been discussed in the very first lecture. So it will not be pertinent for me to repeat these things. You know, this is something very basic. R. Malleshwari, why is this course used? Again, these are questions that have been addressed right in the beginning of the course. So, you know, they've been addressed in the very, very first lecture. Okay. Manohari Raghavan, how HR will help to the organization. Human resources, knowledge of human resources will help the organization. You know, it will help you manage people who are working in the organizations that you work for. Fiveros, kindly upload the slides for all units. Please be patient. The slides are being uploaded as and when the you know, as per the deadlines that have been scheduled. Okay, and after this, let me just switch over to the questions that are coming live. Okay, no questions here. So, all right, I see only 2 participants here. So let me go back. And if I have missed any others, I request the others to please announce themselves and to please announce their queries, because I only see 2 names in the live chat in the list of people who are currently with us in this session. Mr. Raman Bhatt and Mr. Nazi Aman or Miss Nazi Aman. I'm sorry if I'm mistaken about that. So, Nazi, Mr. Bhatt, all right. I'll go back to the questions here. Swati Pal says, what does my potential team's hierarchy look like? How does this position fit into it? Which position are you talking about, Swati? This will depend on which organization you're working for, what your organization is doing, what your team is doing, what your role in the team is. All of these will determine what the hierarchy of the you know, different positions in the team look like. and how does your specific position fit into it? Uh, Prachi says, why? I don't understand why she has written the letter. Why? Yovan, when will we receive our admit card or hall ticket for the examination? Yovan, I request you to please post this question on the forum and our administrative team will respond to you immediately. Prajakta Hernar, okay, faculty, Professor Hernar, no questions. Mr. Raman Bhatt, is ethics a rationality part of morality? Professor, please share some example. I'm not very sure what you mean by rationality part of morality. Question two is, does core job characteristic lead to improvement of these core characteristics? Which core characteristics are you talking about, Mr. Bhatt? Core job characteristic leads to improvement of what? What are you trying to ask here? I'm not very sure. Mr. Raman Bhatt, another question you've asked is, one of the challenges in hiring process is turnover cost. How is it linked to productivity, selection, and recruitment? Okay, now here I will respond to your question. Uh, how one of the challenges in the hiring process is turnover cost. How is it linked to productivity, selection, and recruitment? Okay, turnover cost means in human resources terms, turnover, the word turnover is used in two separate contexts. Turnover, on the one hand, means the amount of profit a company makes. Turnover also refers to the number of people who go through the processes in the organization and join and then leave the organization. So, the number of people that leave the organization. So, if that is what you're asking for, yes, you're right. Turnover cost is a challenge in the hiring process. And it is linked to productivity because remember, productivity is directly related to profit. So any additional cost you incur reduces the amount of profits that you make. It eats into those profits. Okay. So turnover cost means when a person leaves the organization, there are some severance benefits that you have to give. Then you have to hire new people. Then you have to find some people to do the job that could not be done as a result of a person leaving the organization. And when you hire new people, then there are costs associated with that. Then you have to train them. Then they have to fit into the organization. And by the time they become comfortable working, some time passes and you may have lost some chunk of money, or you may have spent additional money in carrying on the work as smoothly as you would have liked it to go on. So, yes, it is linked to, and I think that answers the rest of your question. During appraisal, is MBO followed? If yes, then how? Yes, during appraisal, management by objectives can be followed. I don't know if it is followed in specific organizations. I can't answer that because the way organizations appraise their employees' performance varies from time to time. It depends on the organization, etc. But yes, management by objectives can be followed. It's a very good system, or a very good direction that can be taken, in order to appraise the performance of the employees. So you set certain objectives and you evaluate the performance of the employees against those objectives. And if the objectives are quantified and measurable, then the performance of the employees can also be assessed in measurable terms. For example, sales. You say this is the amount of sales, or these are the number of units of a product that we need to sell, in this particular financial quarter, so 3-month period. And then and these are the number of units we expect every person at the front line to sell, and you evaluate their performance. And so your total figure is dependent on what your assessment of how many units can be sold by a person is. So you multiply that with the number of people doing that selling, and then key in a buffer, and then you come up with a realistically achievable objective. And so once that objective is set, then you say, okay, we expected every salesman to sell these many units of a product or service. Have you sold these many units? 1,000 units in a 1 week period? Have you sold 1,000 tubes of toothpaste? If yes, great. If you've sold 1,200, fantastic, you get a bonus. If you sold 800, we'll call you and we'll ask you why you were not able to sell at least 1,000 tubes of toothpaste. So that is how it can be used in the appraisal process. I hope that answers your question, Mr. Bhatt. Um, Sukirti Arya, I'll come back to your question in a second. Miss Nazia Aman, yes, thank you so much for correcting me, Nazia ji. Manasa Manu, first time I failed, ma'am. Please tell me how to prepare. Manasa, you need to follow the lectures very judiciously. I hope you have been participating on the forum. I hope you have been going through the response on the forums. I hope you have been attempting your assignments very carefully. You have the slides. So just go through the slides meticulously. Post questions on the forum. Ask me if you're confused about something. Listen to the lectures, and of course, I've seen you here, so you're obviously participating in the online live session. So that's a wonderful way, and I think you will do well this time if you are prepared. Um, Deepashri Satyanarayana, can you explain the difference between ethics and morality? Yes, Deepashri, I will come to it in a second. Um, Raman Bhatt, like skill, variety, task identity, task significance. Okay. Mr. Bhatt, if you can please repeat the complete question, I will be very grateful. Uh, Okay, good evening. Good evening. Okay. All right, Ramanji. So I'm glad I've been able to respond to your question. I will come to the discussion on ethics and morality because I think it will take a minute or so. Um Sukirti, can the payroll be explained with preparing pay slip of employees at different levels of organization, or can you tell about any software? Um, Preparing, I'm not very sure. I don't know about the softwares that can be used to practice for preparation of pay slips. I'm sorry. Sharad Soni, Dr. Malik asked what? I don't know what you want to ask me. Ayushi says no question. Rubina, okay. So we will come to the difference between ethics and morality. One second. Okay. So I am on slide 409. Morality is concerned with the norms, values, and beliefs embedded in social processes which define right and wrong for an individual or a community. Ethics is concerned with the study of morality and its application on the application of reason to elucidate specific rules and principles that determine right and wrong for a given situation. Okay, so I'm reading this directly from your slide so you know that I'm referring to something that has already been given to you. Now, this question will answer Mr. Raman Bhatt's question and Deepashri ji's question. Um, and I think there was somebody else who had asked this question. See, morality is what the society believes to be right or wrong. And ethics deals with the reasoning behind what the society believes to be right and wrong. Study of morality. Why are things considered to be right? Why are they considered to be wrong? And then, going to mathematics or going to a more logical, explanation, saying that, these are the rules we follow to determine what is right and what is wrong. And if you follow these rules, then any new situation that comes can be put into the category of right or wrong. So ethics is the study of morality. Ethics is the study of the reasons behind the characterization or categorization of specific events as right or wrong for an individual or a community. Okay, so let's take the example of plagiarism. Okay, so the morality part is it is wrong to copy some work that has been done by someone else. Why is it wrong? Because when you put in some amount of work, there is a benefit associated with it. You do some work and you get the benefit in return for the work you do. If you take the credit for the work, that is morality. Morality is it is wrong to copy somebody else's work or to claim the works that somebody else has done as your own. That is morality. Ethics is, why is it wrong? So the reason for that is that when somebody puts in some amount of work, there is a benefit associated with it. You do some work, you get something in return for it. And so, because what you get in return is limited, only the person who is doing the work should be getting the benefit out of it, or the benefit associated with doing the work. Somebody else does the work, you take the payment for that work. X writes a novel, Y gets the royalty. Y gets to steal that novel and sell it in his or her name. And gets to stay in a big, huge bungalow, and X, poor thing, is still is staying in a one-bedroom flat. Why? Okay. So that is the ethics part of it. The reasoning, because there is something that you're being given. Okay. So the application of reason to determine what is right and what is wrong. I hope this answers your question. Yes, Deepashri ji and Mr. Bhatt, I hope my response answers your question regarding morality and ethics. Okay. Nilesh ji, good evening. Bushra ji, I don't understand what that icon means, but thank you for joining us. Great. Thank you, Deepashri. Glad to be of help. Thank you, Mr. Bhatt. Very glad to be of help. What would you like to know about the separations, Deepashri? I'm going to turn off my audio for just about 30 seconds. Only about 30 seconds, okay? Just 30 seconds. Yeah, I'm here. I'm looking at your questions. I will turn off my audio for just 30 seconds, but I'm still online. I'm sorry I got disconnected, but I'm back now, and hopefully we will not have any more network problems. So my apologies. The last question I saw here was Dipashri asking, separation, help separation of greater diversity. Well, assuring in any organization, it's an opportunity for you to bring new blood, fresh blood, and it's an opportunity for you to hopefully this time things will not go. Okay, I'm back. So I was responding to this question about employee separations. Dipashri, you asked how employee separations help with diversity when employees leave the organization. Uh, the diversity, you get a chance to get newer people in, you get a chance to get fresh blood in. You When new people join the organization, it's an opportunity to get newer ideas in. I'm sorry, after that I got disconnected and I seem to have missed the questions that came after Deepashri Satyanarayana's questions. So I would like to request the uh, student or the participants to please repost their questions. The last question I see here is, how does Dipashri's question, how it helps organizations in greater diversity? I would like to respond to the rest of the questions. Can you please repost your questions? Okay, I've been asked to refresh my YouTube link. We are all familiar with these glitches with technology. Thank you so much, my dear NPTEL team. Very hardworking and very efficient. And your prompt help. Oh, great. Fantastic. No, no, I've got the question. Yeah. Okay. Raman Bhatt says during one of the sessions about business strategy, which carried 2 pointers like development stage of organization and management selection strategy. Can you please once again tell about this model? Sure. Okay, we are talking about the organizational life cycle. And I'll just pull up the slide that we are talking about here. Yes, Mr. Bhatt. Uh, just a second. I'll just pull up the slide so you know which slide to look for. Okay. So yeah, we are looking at slide number 83, and your question is carried two pointers like development stage of the organization and management selection strategy. Yes, the way you select your management, the way you select your people depends on the stage at which your organization is, you know. So if you are at the entrepreneurial stage, which means you're just starting out, you're at if you're at the embryonic stage, which means that you're just a baby, you know. So this is being compared to the life cycle of any human being. So at the embryonic stage or at the infant stage, a child needs something else. You need a different kind of support for the child. So there's an entrepreneurial strategy here. Embryonic stage, the organization is fresh, your aim is high growth rates, you want to develop basic product lines, there's a heavy emphasis on product engineering, you're creating the product, and you want more and more customers. Sustaining a set pool of customers is not your real goal here. Okay, your goal is to get as many customers as possible. Okay, so that is why you want entrepreneurs, people who are very very keen to the people who can develop new ideas, people who can create new ideas, sustain them, etc. Second stage is high growth stage, which means that at this stage, there is refining and extending product line. So you've established your product and you want to define and you want to extend your product line. Your emphasis is on growth. Your product is stable, but you want to grow. So you build customer loyalty. You don't want to lose the customers that you've already acquired. Okay, so you need entrepreneurs for growth, but growth directors, people who can give a direction to your already stable business. Then the third stage is the mature stage, where your goal is maintenance of market share. You've grown, you've expanded, you've set up a business, you have established it, you've stabilized it, you have grown it, it's large enough, you have a lot of revenue coming in, you've acquired some market share. So you don't want to lose the market share that you have acquired. So you want to maintain it. At least, you have whatever 20, 30, 40, 50% of the market, and you don't want to lose it. So your goal is to maintain that market share. You reduce costs through economies of scale. So you start mass producing products or services that have worked, okay, that have sold. You have a formula in place and you repeat the same formula. There's rigid management control over workers' actions because you know by this time what works and what doesn't work for your specific organization within your specific business environment. Generation of cash to develop new product lines. But then you want to maintain what you have and use any extra money to develop newer product lines so that in case the market changes, you are able to sustain in the evolving market as well. So what you need is people who are comfortable with repetition. You don't want too many people with new ideas. You will still need people with new ideas, but you want people who have no problem following the set patterns that have worked. You need bureaucrats and who can develop economies of scale. And then every product or service has a life cycle. Now, if you evolve along with the market, you may live much longer. But then a stage comes when your organization or the way it does things or the initial product or service that the organization was offering becomes old. And at that point of time, the organization starts aging. Hmm. And then there's a struggle to hold market share. So, people start moving on to your competitors, to other products or services that serve their needs better. So you want to control your costs. After all, you want to sustain for as long as you want or as long as possible in the market. You struggle for economic survival. You want your organization to continue. And so, again, at this point, you need people with newer ideas who will help you grow or evolve in, coherently with the environment that you're working in. So I hope that answers your question. Okay. Yeah. All right. Nazia Aman. Yeah. Okay. Sachin Kumar, what is a good way of employee appraisal in the present time? It depends on the organization that you're working for. You know the different methods of employee appraisals. You can use one or more of the different appraisal systems. Uh, Ramanathan says, good evening, ma'am. I'm Ramanathan, a BE graduate who's keenly interested to. Okay. Uh, can I clear my exam, ma'am? Mr. Ramanathan, if you study hard, you followed the lectures, if you have followed the queries on the forum, if you participated on the forum, there's no reason why you cannot clear your exam. Read up, listen to the lectures, participate. Uh, okay. Yes, Mr. Bhatt, I've found it and I've explained it. Okay, I hope my explanation meets your expectations. Um, Great. Okay. Deepashri, life insurance is the benefit given to the survivors of the disease. Deepashri, this is a question on the quiz. I am not going to respond to it. Okay. I will respond to it after the deadline for this particular quiz has passed, and I'll respond to it on the forum. Yeah. All right. You know what? This is the best part of these lectures. It's this one on one connection with all of you who are sitting in different parts of the country. Occasionally, we have students from abroad also. So it's really nice that we have, all of you are here. And it's so nice to meet you all and to connect with you all. Oh, Deepashri says, Madam, the deadline is over. Yes, Deepashri. So let me pull up. Which quiz was this, Deepashri? Quiz number? Let me just pull up the quiz. Of course, life insurance. Let me see what the question was. I'll first see the question and then I'll see whether we made a mistake or whether there has been some confusion with the interpretation. Okay, just a second. I have the quizzes right here. I'll just pull them up. This was quiz 5. Hmm, just a second. Loading. One second, Dipashri. It's just the file is loading. I'll just read the question and then I'll respond to you, because it's quite likely that the response may have been, there may have been some confusion with the interpretation of the question. Huh? Okay. In the meantime, I'll respond to Mr. Bhatt's question. In performance management system during week 2 and model 5, you explained about 8 steps. Yes, I will look at it. Let me first answer the Pashtri's question. Yes, which of the following is false? The correct answer is life insurance refers to additional benefit assured to employees who live longer. Okay, so for A, the question was A. The answer to this was A, not B. Can you check? Yeah. Yeah, my TA is sitting here. So you're absolutely right. Life insurance refers to a benefit given to the survivors of the deceased employee. That is true. But the question is, which of the following statements is wrong, not right? Dipashri. This statement is not false. The statement that life insurance is the benefit given to the survivors of the deceased is true. The other statement is incorrect. It's not the additional benefit assured to employees who live longer. Yes, Dipashri, I hope I've answered your question. Deep Narayan Chaturvedi, madam, I've asked one question regarding assignments. Yes, Mr. Chaturvedi, have you posted this question on the forum? If you have, you must have been responded to. I am requesting my TA to please look into this. Please go through the questions on the forum and see if we may have inadvertently missed the question posted by Mr. Deep Narayan Chaturvedi. And if we have, your question will be responded to immediately. Okay. Yes, Deepashri, I hope I have responded to your question. So my TA will respond to your question. Yes. Your answer says it's wrong. What did you mark as correct? Deepashri, what was your choice? A or B? Please tell me. You know what, Deepashri, it will help if you just take a screenshot of what you have responded, of your response and just no, Dipashri, I don't know what your response was. Okay. So please take a screenshot of your response and send it to us and we will respond to you. Okay. Just post it on the forum. I still think that there is some confusion here. And I think I know where the problem has occurred. Meanwhile, I'll respond to Mr. Raman Bhatt's question. Module 5, you explained. Yes, Dipashri, your response B is incorrect because the question was which of the two statements is wrong. Statement B is correct. Statement B is not a wrong statement. Statement B is factually correct, but the question was is wrong. So statement A is wrong. No, Dipashri, I've understood. The question was which of the two statements is false. Statement A is a false statement. It's an incorrect statement. Okay. Statement B is a correct statement. Okay. So yeah, you can send the screenshot and I will explain it again to you. Okay. All right. Performance management system. I'll just go back to this. Mr. Bhatt, I'm just going back to it. 1 second, huh? Mr. Bhatt, can you please tell me which slide you're talking about? 5 steps that which talk about appraising performance. I'm not sure which 5 steps you are referring to. Okay. So please, Mr. Bhatt, just give me the slide number. No, Dipashri, so you've understood, huh? Yeah. See, it was two negatives make a positive. I asked you which one is negative. I'm glad you've understood this. Okay. Ramanathan, ma'am, can you please explain the difference between profit sharing and gain sharing? Yes, I will. Mr. Bhatt, in the meantime, please pull up the slide. Week 2, module 5 is fine, but please tell me which specific slide you're talking about. Okay, so just give me the slide number and I'll pull it up, please, Mr. Bhatt. Okay, profit sharing. Okay, Mr. Ramanathan. Profit sharing is a percentage of the annual profit that is disbursed to employees annually. Okay, so this is your annual bonuses. Gain sharing is when you get, yeah, gain sharing means when it's productivity based. So you sell, so if you're expected to sell, say, 1,000 units of a product and you end up selling 1,200 units, which is 20% more than what the organization expected. So you get a percentage of the gain that has been accrued, and that is not annual, that is based on your particular outcome at that point of time. Profit sharing means that you'll get your bonus irrespective of the work you have put in. If the company makes a profit, overall, all the employees get a percentage of that profit as a bonus. However, gain sharing is more individual and it is related to your productivity, it is related to the amount of work that you put in. Okay, so I hope that clears your confusion. Mr. Ramanathan. Okay. Deep Narayan Chaturvedi, madam, I would like to know the difference between autocrat and bureaucrat leader. Clear. It's very simple. Bureaucracy deals with administration, which means ensuring adherence to rules and policies. Okay. Autocracy means that I will make the rule and I will decide who will follow it and I will decide when it will be followed. And, it's like you show me the face and I'll show you the rule. So, an autocratic leader is one who does things his own way. However, a bureaucrat is somebody who is more participative. They only ensure adherence to the rules that have been set in place, preferably through a democratic participative system, keeping, and that adhere to the laws of the land and are have been made keeping the greater good of the people in mind. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Mr. Chaturvedi. Yes. Great. Thanks, Mr. Ramanathan. I'm glad to be of help. Mr. Ramanathan said, ma'am, will the difficulty level of the questions be the same as that in the assignment? Depends on how hard you've studied. The pattern will be the same, more or less. It's all multiple choice questions. And you will have enough time to think and respond to the questions. Okay. All right, Mr. Chaturvedi. So glad to be of help. Yeah. So I think we are running out of time now. If there are no more questions, I think we can bring this session to a close. Thank you very much. And we are here for you. And please keep on posting your queries. Please study very, very hard. And keep on posting your queries on the forum. Keep on asking us, bombarding us with questions. We welcome your queries. It just helps us, it reassures us that whatever we are doing here is helping you. And that is the whole purpose of this exercise. That is the whole purpose of the National Program on Technology Enhanced Learning, NPTEL. And I take this opportunity to say a big thank you, and I think you should all say thanks to our NPTEL team that has been working tirelessly to put these videos up, to put up your assignments, to format everything, to our teaching assistants. Ms. Shreyasi Roy, there's some problem with her video, but I think she can say hello over audio to you. And and Ms. Antara Banerjee, who's been shadowing her, and our entire NPTEL team has been working very, very hard to make sure that your queries are posted up. And it's a massive team effort. So thank you very much. We are so glad that whatever we have taught you has helped you. Okay, Ramanathan, ma'am, can we have a small supplementary video giving updates about the development that took place in the 5 year span of time since the videos are recorded a couple of years earlier? Absolutely, Mr. Ramanathan. I think that's a fabulous idea. If you can just share, specific tips on what you would like these videos to contain, so that would be very, very helpful. Just post on the forum what you would like these videos to contain, and I think we can have maybe a half an hour video sharing some updates. It will take some time. It can't be done immediately because the NPTEL team has other commitments, but we will try our best, and that is something that we should be doing. That's a fabulous idea. Thank you very much. I think it's time for me to log off, but I will be in touch with you through the forum, and we will try and help you as much as possible for the final examination. Please stay healthy. Please stay safe in this very, very bad corona time, and study hard and stay connected. And we hope you continue to benefit from our NPTEL courses. Thank you very much. Namaskar. Uh, and wish you all the very, very best for your final exam. Bye bye.